her.
Good morning. I have world record holder, Guinness Book of World Record holder. Yes, this is amazing. Natasha Chang is my guest, and she has a nickname. What is your nickname?
Chiney Dolly.
Chiney Dolly.
I've had it since I was 17. A friend of mine gave that to me. And I grew up in Jamaica, so it was given to me in Jamaica.
The accent's awesome.
Thank you. And this is actually very subdued.
Already.
And so he just, all of my friends said, you look like a little Chinese doll. So my racing name came about as Chiney Dolly, which is the Jamaican kind of slang for a Chinese doll.
Right.
Yeah,
but here's the question. How the heck did you decide, because like you're this little tiny petite Asian lady, how did you decide you were going to race cars?
So my grandfather used Jaguars. So I think I've just always been around cars, but not only just ghost racing within my family.
Yeah.
I've just found that love of cars, and that was handed down to me by my grandfather. He willed me all of his Jaguars, so I've loved Jaguars, and Jaguars have had a special
In Jamaica?
In Jamaica.
And you grew up in Jamaica?
Yeah, so I'm from Florida, born in Florida, and then I moved when I was younger. My dad and my grandfather had a business down there, so we went in the beginning, and in my teenage years when my mom decided to come back to Florida, I'm like, see ya, and everyone being very close and it being a small town reminds me of home. So I mean, Naples is just perfect for me.
And how did you start racing?
I started when I was about 18. A friend of mine, we just, as a group, we went to the go-kart track in Jamaica. No intentions of ever racing or anything like that.
Like the fun track or the real racetrack?
A real racetrack. So in Jamaica, our tiny little island, we have an FIA certified go-kart track.
Okay.
That was built.
And that's like what the circuit is for around the world.
It's correct. It's like the governing body rules, and you have to have, certain safety equipment, proper candy canes, all of that. They're the governing body. So we do have an FIA track in Jamaica. Very cool. So we went out just to have fun in some really nice Rotax go-karts. And I drove, and it just so happened that his father was a principal on one of the biggest go-kart teams. He was there, and he saw me race, and he goes, this girl has some talent, so he comes up to me, goes, hi, would you be interested in doing a sponsorship? And I'm like, of course. I'm not gonna say no to that. Right. And that basically is what kicked off my
you must have you obviously stand out in Jamaica, like an attractive Asian girl, right? I mean, it's not
hey, I'm half Chinese, half Puerto Rican. My mom,
half Chinese, half Puerto Rican.
My mom got so jealous once, because when everything came out from the world record, it's always Jamaican Chinese. So my mother's like, did I not birth you, and did I not hold you in for 9 months? I'm like, geez, Mom, okay.
Yeah, so you had to reverse it?
Yeah, so I'm like, I had to tell all the news. I'm like, listen, get this right before my mother strangles me.
That's right.
I'm half Chinese, half Puerto Rican.
That's a very important yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that was for you, Mom.
All right, Mom. We want to make Mom happy. Mama, we got you. So he sees you race.
Yep.
He says, this is like a storybook. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. So he says, I want to sponsor you, or I want you to race more?
Yep. So basically I got a sponsorship, and
go ahead. Are you trying to go ahead?
I'm trying to share. I'm the worst millennial ever.
Don't worry.
Know
like,
how to
honestly,
do this.
everybody says the same thing.
Now.
Go, hit share.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to be a millennial.
That's good.
An Asian millennial.
We had bad connection, but now it looks like we have better connection. Because
Okay,
before
great.
it was giving us a thing.
All right, all done.
All right, go.
All right, so
you start racing. You get to the track.
I got a sponsorship for a year with JetCon Racing in Jamaica. I did very well. I got Rookie of the Year that year. Was doing really well. I did karting for, I think, a year or 2 years after. And then
But people that don't know, that's like the first step to get to like race Formula One, right?
Yeah. Although I've never had, even now in my career, I've never had aspirations to go completely professional.
Okay.
It's a hobby and I love it, and I kind of love to do it on my own terms.
Okay.
You know, people always say if you work doing what you love, then you never work a day in your life.
That's correct.
I agree, but sometimes disagree, because when you turn a hobby into a career,
it still becomes work.
Exactly, you take a certain level of just doing it on your own pace. And
100%.
yes, I'm very competitive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna go in a race and like, all right, if I come third, it's fine. No, I'm gonna slash your tire.
Yeah, you want to win. Yeah. That's the Latina coming out of you.
So anyways, okay, so back to the story. So I did karting, and then I decided I wanted to progress. So I bought myself my first little race car, and I did dexterity in Jamaica, which is autocross here. So it's a tight course, normally first to second or third gear maximum, and you kind of do a very
the little tight circles, and it's always shifting and everything,
exactly,
right?
Lots of handbrakes, lots of fishtailing. So that actually taught me a lot of car control. From there, I then bought myself a rally car. I had a very cool Tommy Mackinnon.
Well, how did you get enough money to buy a rally car?
I saved up. I bought, my first car was a Toyota DX, which here you can probably buy them for like $200. It was a junk car. But then I took my time and I sprayed it, and I bought suspension parts one time, this, that's, and the other. So
you built it over time a little bit.
Over time. If you set your mind to something,
of course,
you can do it. So, over my entire career, I've slowly progressed. But again, I've done it on my own time. And I look back and I'm so proud of myself because I did everything myself.
Absolutely.
And another thing that also set me apart was any car that I bought, I made sure to make sure that I was always in the papers, be a story. So my first dexterity car was the first woman to campaign a rear-wheel drive car. And then for my rally car, I was the first woman in the Caribbean to campaign a Group N 4-wheel drive car. And then after that,
so you're like a little PR marketing machine,
right?
Yeah.
That way, even if on a bad day, it would always be,
and do you model? Because every picture looks like you're modeling.
Oh, thank you. No, I've never been a model.
Okay.
I'm actually quite conservative. So another cool accomplishment in my life was I was awarded one of the top 10 hottest female drivers.
I saw that. Yes. Hottest as in attractive.
Yes.
Okay, good. Not just burning off the track. You were fire. All right. I saw that too. That's hot.
Yeah, thank you.
Which I agree with them.
But another thing that I took pride in is that I was the only woman that was dressed.
Right.
Everyone else is like a little skimpy.
Yeah, with bikinis,
and stuff. And like, I'm in my full race suit, so I'm very conservative. I'm not all about, I'm a driver first.
That's because your mom's always taking care. She's gonna whoop you.
I know, my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Jeez, I had to run fast.
Okay, so you did all that. It's coming up.
Yeah.
And then when did you decide that you were gonna try to set a world record?
So that's a whole nother
because that's
story.
different cars, different racing, different everything.
Yep. So it's a funny story actually. I'm doing my morning routine, checking my emails. I see this email title come up.
Hi Patty, just saying hello.
Hi.
Okay.
So I get this email that says National Geographic Thailand. That was the heading. So I immediately delete it because I think it's spam.
Right.
Why is National Geographic Thailand? Am I going to send money to my uncle?
Right.
Anyways, so I delete it immediately. But then something in my gut was saying, Natasha, it doesn't take any time. Just open it up and read it. So like a couple minutes later, I said, all right, let me check it out. I open it, and then there was the concept from National Geographic about the show that I did. It was called Record Rides. And I said, okay, let me just reply. So I said, I might be interested, let me hear a little bit more about the concept. And for, I don't know, maybe 5 back and forth emails, I still thought it was a scam.
Yeah.
Like my fiance accompanied me to Thailand, and even landing at the airport, we were like, do we take the taxi that they sent us, or should we take our own taxi?
Oh my God, the whole time
we're gonna be kidnapped.
Even going to Thailand, and you're like, that's a huge leap of faith, though.
I know, in the back of our mind. But what really set it apart is that they sent me the contract, and National Geographic is owned by Fox Networks. So I signed a contract with Fox Networks,
Okay.
and that's when I was like,
Sure.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's real.
I was like, babe, I just signed
This
a
is the real
contract
deal.
with Fox. Like,
Yeah.
that is so cool. Probably
Sure.
one of the coolest experiences in my life. But yeah, so I had no inkling, no dream to set a world record.
But
It
what
was-
about the driving experience? Because isn't this a different...
Well, it's called a hill climb.
Right.
And the closest thing that I've done to a hill climb is basically rally, because I've done dirt rally and I've done tarmac rally.
Okay,
So
okay.
you're on a road, and they, of course, the government officials are there, so they close the road. So you get to race up. The thing is, Thailand roads. One of our lanes here, we're on Pine Ridge. One of these lanes are 2 lanes in Thailand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's tiny.
Tiny.
The people, the roads,
Tiny.
everything.
So it's very narrow. So just think about going as fast as you can go up a mountain, and then the only thing that separates you from a cliff is a tiny little concrete post, maybe like 2 feet high.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So you get in the car, and did you get to practice?
So they gave you 1 practice run in a regular car. Because we were setting on Guinness World Records, and officials from the Guinness World Record
Yeah.
book was there, so we had to do it.
How did they know this was going to
but-
be a Guinness Book of World Records? Because you were female? Because
Well,
what?
no, because National Geographic. The whole premise of the show was to
Everything,
attempt this feat.
every episode is a feat to get a world record.
Correct.
Okay.
So for this one, it was a 2-episode series, and the aim was to break a Guinness World Record going up. The mountain was called Doi Chang, so fastest ascent of Doi Chang Mountain by car. So the whole premise of the show was we're trying to find little junky cars that we can fix up in like a week,
Yeah.
and race up this mountain. And of course the National Geographic part comes into it, so we get to explore Thailand, and we get to explore all these old villages and meet these
Wow.
amazing people.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really just couldn't have been any cooler. I got to explore a country I've never been to with National Geographic, so you know that you're going to get some really cool insights. And then I got to race up a mountain. So I mean, a Guinness record is
Did
just
they didn't have the car built when you got there?
Nope.
You're kidding me? You just found a car?
Yeah, so well.
Oh, you're a total
it's a
gearhead.
little bit.
You're
It's
like-
a little bit.
you're-
It's a little bit of TV magic, but yes, they started the build on the cars when we got there. So they really did a lot of work in just a few days. It
They
was
did.
pretty crazy. And another thing, as you said that I'm a gearhead. I had a co-host or another competitor, and then we had all of the mechanics, we had all of the crew, and like I was basically the one telling everybody what to do with the car.
Right? Did you see, you know the show Top Gear?
Yeah.
So Adam Ferraro was my guest last week.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so Adam-
What's he doing?
He's
in
a
Naples?
comedian.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a
I
full-time
didn't know that.
comedian. That's what he
very
does.
cool.
So he was my guest, and I figured you would know him, because
Oh,
that's a great
really
show,
cool.
too.
Of course, yeah. I love Top
I
Gear.
love that show.
And then a lot of people have been telling me about this show called Hyperdrive on Netflix. It's
Oh,
kind of like Ninja
speaking-
Warrior for cars.
I haven't seen that one, but have you
Very
seen
cool.
Fast Cars? Fastest Car?
No.
You haven't seen the Fastest Car? It's
What's
when
that?
they take street cars and sleepers,
Mm-hmm.
and they race against exotics like Lambos and Ferraris and stuff.
Do you know in Jamaica what they call those?
What?
Grocery getters.
Grocery getters,
Yeah.
like sleepers. So,
Yeah.
so
they look like you're gonna go get some groceries, and then they're gonna kick your butt in your Ferrari.
oh yeah, this girl had she runs 8.6 seconds in the quarter mile, and she lives here in town.
No
and
way.
she's one of the stars this season.
Oh,
and I
that's
just had her
super
on.
cool.
So
Very
it's
cool.
been like the captain's logs had just nothing but racers
Racers
lately.
now.
Yeah.
We're taking
But you're the
over.
first world record holder I've had, that's for sure. So you get the car. Is it a car or a truck that you race?
I raced a Honda Civic.
Up the hill.
Yep.
Up the hill.
Yep.
Do they put special suspension on it and stuff?
Yep, we upgraded our suspension, we upgraded our engine, lots of parts. We took out all the interior, so it was bone. It was
Right.
bare bone. Of course, we have all our safety equipment. We have our roll cages. We have to have our harness and everything. And of course, being a partnership with such a huge company like National Geographic, everything has to be done.
Of course, yeah, because
Properly.
they don't want to get sued.
Exactly. But another partner that also partnered with the show was called Caltex, which is Chevron in Asia.
Okay.
So
they had a lot of the backing and the money and the know-how too.
Exactly. And then their whole campaign was to take an older car, because the car that I raced up and broke the record with was a 28-year-old Honda Civic.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an old car.
Is that a lot of the vehicles there they had in Thailand? Because like I know in Cuba it's the same way, right? They have like a lot of older vehicles, and that's pretty much what they have.
Exactly. They have mainly. So that was their whole premise of their campaign, that if we can make this 28-year-old car break a world record, what can our fuel do for you?
What was exactly.
Yeah.
So now, what was your time to beat? Like, had there been other cars that have done that, or what?
So when you're breaking a new Guinness World Record, Guinness will take, they'll do an average. So say, for instance, they'll take an average of a supercar or of the Pikes Peak Skoda car, and then they'll say, okay, well, those cars will do it in this time. Your car's a little bit older, so we'll give you an average of 8 minutes.
Right.
So that was the time that we had to beat.
And did you
I did it in 6 minutes and 52 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. If you watch the show, I was super nervous. I don't want to give away too much, but there was an incident.
Is the episode on now?
So it is. They just launched it on their website, but because this is National Geographic Asia, the rights are all mixed.
Yeah.
So I've been requesting this and nagging the hell out of them. So they'll launch it. And if they don't, I have the episode, so I will put them on.
All right, good. But we'll help you promote it too. So that's going to be great. How can they find you on Instagram real quick so they can follow you? Because they're going to maybe want to watch a bunch of other stuff that you do.
Sure. So my Instagram is Chiney_Dolly. Let me spell that.
Yeah.
So it's CHINEY _DOLLY.
Correct. And great page, by the way. You got a lot of fun, cool stuff, and good posts and everything.
Thank you.
So you get in the car. Is it a stick or automatic?
It's a stick.
It's a stick.
Yeah.
And you always drive stick usually, or no?
All my race cars, yes.
Yes.
But then around Naples, I normally cruise below the speed limit.
Yeah.
And because it's Naples.
Right. You're just chilling.
You're just chilling.
It's like island time, like Jamaica.
There you go.
Well, I appreciate you telling us the story. It's an honor to have you. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate your time today.
I'm actually very honored to be here. You've had some amazing guests.
We have had some great guests. I've been lucky to do that, but it's the first Guinness Book World Record holder. Thank you so much. Natasha Chang, my guest today. Guys, we'll be back at 2:30. Dr. Dollar is going to tell us what happens when we have an orgasm. I know we do all kinds of topics here, but this one's really important. We'll be back 2:30 today, live with the Captain's Log. See ya.